We invite you to a review of a gaming console GPD GamePad G5A. The console comes in a box with blue and white colors on it. On top we see a picture of the device, the manufacturer's logo, model name, website address and basic information about the console like 8 gigs of internal memory, Wi-Fi antenna, 5-inch touchscreen display and Android. On the sidewalls of the box you will find information on available technologies such as game key mapping, G-sensor, 2 vibration motors, quad-core processor and Android in version 4.2. After opening the box, the first thing we see is the main protagonist of this presentation, G5A console in white. Gamepad has 2 joysticks on the sides of the screen and D-pad on the left side. On the opposite side of the display there are 4 keys, which we use primarily in games. They are marked with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Below the buttons and D-pad there are 2 stereo speakers. At the bottom of the screen we can see written in silver letters word Gamepad. The last thing on the front is a tiny LED between the key button 4 and the speaker, which informs us, for example, that console is turned on. LED is so small that it doesn't disturb while playing games or watching movies. Before taking the gamepad out of the box, I had concerns that it may be a bit big, heavy and not very handy device. Nothing can be further from the truth, but more on that in a moment. In the upper part we have 4 triggers marked with numbers 5, 6, 7 and 8. Location of the triggers is practical and very comfortable. Round button on the right is a power button used to start up, shut down, reset the device and turn on off the screen. Right next to it there is a DC 5V external power supply input. Next we have micro USB input for charging and data transfer. The idea of it is the same as in smartphones with Android on board. The last input is mini HDMI port, so you can connect it to your TV. At the bottom of the console from the left to right you will find micro SD card slot which support cards up to 42 gigs of memory. Next we have start, volume up and down and select button, mini jack input and a microphone. One may wonder why there are so many keys and buttons. That was my first impression, but they are all very necessary. Some of them are used in emulated games. GPD G5A has pre-installed game emulators for PSX, NES, SNES, Sega, Nintendo 64, Game Boy and a couple of others. There is loads of it, and a lot of games from earlier mentioned consoles require additional buttons. In some games, due to certain limitation, we still use the on-screen buttons, but it's not a problem thanks to a big 5-inch screen. In addition, we have access to the store from which you can download for free lots of different games. Game database is very big and new games are added to it from time to time, so I am sure everyone will find something for themselves. On the bottom of the gamepad you will find the manufacturer's logo and a 2-megapixel camera. Below you can see the safety certificates and information about the 3500 mAh battery that can last for a really long time. On the right and left side you can see shaped space for the ring fingers while holding the console. Gamepad is very well made, which you do not expect really from a producer from an unknown manufacturer in Asia. However, the quality is surprising on many fronts. White plastic has a matte feel, so the console stays firm in your hands. All black keys and buttons are also well made. Additionally, both joysticks are coated with rubber so your fingers don't slip while playing. Console weighs only 290 grams. Specifications are as follows: 8GB internal memory, ARM Cortex A9 1.5 GHz processor, ARM Mali 400 3D graphics accelerator, 5-inch display with a resolution of 800 by 480 pixels, Wi-Fi BGN, 2-megapixel camera, support multiple types of graphic, audio and video files, HDMI 1080p input so you can play games on your TV, USB 2.0, 3.5mm jack for headphones, and a card slot that supports SD cards up to 32 gigs. Two motors provide vibration while playing. With the GPD console we also get micro USB cable to connect the device to your computer, 5V power adapter for charging, and a manual. It is worth noting that the gamepad has also a help application on it. To power the device, just press the power button. Gamepad comes with Android version 4.2 without pre-installed bloatware. On the main screen we have access to 5 desktops. In the right corner we find an icon that lets us access the menu. As this is an Android device, you can synchronize the console with your own Gmail account and use all the applications and games available on Google Play Store. You also have access to the calendar, email, web browser, etc. The viewing angles are also quite good. In summary, gamepad doesn't have some great design or well-known brand behind it or 4K display, but it does have something in itself. It has a lot of emulators with all kinds of games, and today's 30 or 40 years old will certainly find a few dozens of titles they will recognize from their youth. Although the gamepad feels big, it is very convenient while using. Its great advantage are buttons and joysticks, which I personally miss my smartphone. Playing on a phone in game more challenging than Solitaire or Angry Birds is not very convenient. Here it is a pleasure while playing games like car racing, shooting, fighting and much more. Great battery life is the second big plus. Android and access to Google Play Store lets you play all the new games comfortably without any problems. But to be honest, you will spend weeks playing the old games before you will download something new from the Play Store. I highly recommend this interesting device. At the end of our presentation we invite you to watch only a few of the dozens if not hundreds of games from different emulators. This is something which this console is really strong. Thank you for watching, comment, like and share. Bye bye.